Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Football, TITTH number 175. I'm your host, Justin Bruni, but we got the whole gang here. Happy Thursday, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, almost a Friday.
Look, there's football on TV, so I am happy as a clam. All right, we get to watch the incredible, Texans take on the Panthers tonight. Should be a good one.
Hey, welcome our guest host this evening, Cody at Smash Hit Sports on Twitter. How you doing, sir?
We're doing great. It's good. A little chilly up here in the northern parts of Indiana, but
all right,
we'll take what we can get.
All right, getting a little bit of that autumn-like effect.
Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. It goes from zero to winter here so quick, it's ridiculous.
I got you. Well, me and Steve, we're Midwest guys, so totally get it. As the season starts to get closer into fall and autumn, the morning smells a little bit different. It's a little bit chillier. You don't know if you're supposed to wear jeans or shorts because by noon it could be 75 or even 80 sometimes. Yep. So totally sympathize with that. But yeah, like you said, we got two headliners tonight in the Texans and in Carolina, ready to get after some Thursday night football. Nick, Steve, how are we doing? You guys got any big plans for this Sunday? Not all at once.
Sorry.
I think
Nick
Nick's
was muted.
stuck on
He's
mute.
talking, but
Yeah, my bad. Rookie mistake. Sunday's my holiday, so I watch football all day and chill on the couch. So that's my Sunday until Super Bowl.
Not a bad Sunday to have.
Yeah, I'm just going to be parking my butt on my couch all weekend. So that'll be nice just to chill at my own apartment and watch these games.
Yep, absolutely. Let's dive into some of our best bets for tonight, some either props or best bets that we really like. I'm going DJ Moore, anytime touchdown, plus Sam Darnold over 1.5 passing touchdowns, plus a Carolina win. What do you got, Steve?
I got under 2.5 catches for Chris Conley. He's only been getting 2 targets a game.
Okay.
So that right there hits the under. And then I like DJ Moore to have a big game tonight, so I'm going to go over the 67.5 receiving.
Nice. Right on. Cody, you got anything for this evening?
Look, I think this game gets out of hand early, so give me the Christian McCaffrey over 87.5 rushing yards. I could absolutely see him hitting 100. The other thing, I'm all over the under tonight. I just don't think the Texans offense, short week, new quarterback, not a ton of weapons. So they're out Danny Amendola and another wide receiver tonight. So we'll see if that Texans offense can get it rolling, but I'm going to bet otherwise.
All right. Sounds good. And we'll get into that here pretty soon. Danny Amendola is out, but Anthony Miller is in. Bear it down. Let's jump into our monkey knife fight props for this evening. The first one we have up is Christian McCaffrey over under 85.5 rushing yards. Cody, sounds like you like the over there, versus Mark Ingram over under 36.5 rushing yards. I agree with you, Cody. I'm going with the over 85.5 on CMC, and I'm taking the under on Mark Ingram tonight. What do you guys think, Nick and Steve?
I'm going to take the over on Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he is a very strong part of their offense. I'm glad that we're actually getting to see some Carolina ball on TV, because it just makes it easier to see how they actually use him. So I'm going to say the over for that. And Mark Ingram, he actually was on my fantasy team, but I changed him up for Devin Singletary because I was like, I just don't believe that he's going to actually get the points that I want. So I don't think he's going to have the over. So I'm going to take the under on him.
All right, fair enough. Steve?
Yeah, so I got the over on McCaffrey. The Texans, I think, have given up over on the rushing prop to their opponent, 15 of their last 18.
Nice.
So I think McCaffrey will just do the same thing, just run all over them. And then I actually like the Ingram over here. He's hit that number with a relatively large margin every game this year. So I think he'll just can keep it going tonight. It's a low number, so he can hit it.
All right. And then, Cody, what did you think about Mark Ingram?
So I am sprinkling a little bit on Mark Ingram over 10.5 carries.
Okay.
And by the, via the volume there, I think he can average 3.5 yards a carry, hit that 36 number.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, I like all your guys' points, especially Steve, that number on Houston allowing the prop X amount of times. I just saw Houston as, a really good option for rushing yards against. Their top 4 in the league so far. They're number 4 with yards against on the ground, like 215 or something like to running back. So a lot of opportunity there. Next up, we have DJ Moore, over or under 77.5 receiving yards versus Brandon Cooks, over under 71.5. I like the over for Moore, and I like the over for Cooks actually still. What do you guys think?
I'm going to take the over for DJ Moore, and I'm going to take the under for Braden Cooks. I think that the defensive backs for the Panthers are pretty strong. I think it's going to be a little bit hard of a workload for them.
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to go over for DJ Moore. Like I said, in my best bets, I think he has a big game. Same for Brandon Cooks. I think Davis Mills has targeted him on 53% of his snaps last week. So I think that stays the same. You got to rely on some of those big guns you got. So I like him to hit this over.
All right, very good. Cody,
yeah, Steven, that was a great point on Brandon Cooks. I think he had 50% of Davis Mills targets once he came in last week. So I'll take the over 71.5 on Brandon Cooks. The DJ Moore number scares me a little bit. I just think they spread the ball around, and once they get up, I think they just let that clock run and hand the ball off. So I'm going to go under 77.5 for DJ Moore.
Sure, I could see that. DJ's off to a great start, though. I think it's like 15 catches, 159, 160 receiving yards, and a touchdown so far through a couple of games. Looks like him and Darnold have a really good connection. So I still like the over there. And just that, man, the secondary for Houston, they're missing Terrace Marshall tonight, so they're left with Vernon Hargraves and Desmond King. It's pretty bleak back there. So I trust both him and Roby tonight to do the thing. We're looking at fantasy points now, strictly fantasy points. Christian McCaffrey or Brandon Cooks, who has more fantasy points tonight? But Brandon Cooks gets a 10.5 point head start versus Sam Darnold versus DJ Moore, and DJ Moore gets a 3.5 point head start. These are a couple of tough ones. We'll start with Nick.
Man, this is kind of crazy, but I'm still going to take Christian McCaffrey. He's such a dual threat. He's going to get, a bunch of different ways to make some plays and get some yardage. So he's a PPR monster. I think that he's going to definitely get 11 more points than Brandon Cooks. And then for Sam Darnold, I'm going to say DJ Moore is actually going to have more fantasy points, but Sam Darnold's going to have an all right game. But I'm going to give DJ Moore my side on that.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I gotta just stay the same. I think DJ Moore is gonna have a big game, so give me those 3.5 fantasy points, and he'll top Darnold. This Cooks and McCaffrey one, I really went back and forth for a while on. I'm gonna take Brandon Cooks plus 10.5. That you're just spotting me a lot of points there. I like McCaffrey to have a big game, but that could be, just 25 points for him, and that's a relatively great game for anyone. So I like Cooks there with the points.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you there. 10.5 is a lot of points. So I'm gonna give Brandon Cooks plus 10.5, and I'm gonna take Sam Darnold, but I think that 3.5, 4 mark is right where that's gonna end. I think Sam Darnold does have a great game tonight, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going pretty similar. I'm going with Brandon Cooks. The 10-point spread just far too large for me, and then I'm going with the quarterback. Has the opportunity to throw multiple touchdowns. I think there's just a little bit more opportunity there. So that's where I'm staying. All right, let's jump into the actual game preview. But before we do, we got Driscoll in the chat, always jumping in with us Monday, Sunday, and Thursdays, talking props. Let's see, gets out of hand, which it will. He agrees with you, Cody. Mills rushing touchdown, plus 1,000. I like that. Panthers defense or special teams anytime touchdown, plus 500 on FanDuel. Really appreciate that. Really like it as well. Mills last college game, 400 passing yards, 3 TDs, and 3 interceptions. Kid likes to sling it. I like it. He likes to throw the ball around. And hey, in that matchup last week up against the Browns, he was slinging the ball around. Like guys were matched up one-on-one. He was still chucking it down the sidelines, hoping for the best. So doesn't seem like he's timid, but that also means he could be in line for some mistakes, in line for some interceptions. All right, so let's jump into the actual preview. We got the Panthers coming in as road favorites, -8 on the spread now. It's moved up from 7 all the way up to 8 points. They're -420 on the money line, so we're not getting a ton of value there. Houston Texans +340. Over-under sitting at 43 points even. I actually like the over. I feel like we can get enough offense in this one. I'm leaning obviously Panthers on the money line. Really hard to stay away from that. Well, stay away from that value. You don't want to bet on the minus 420, but I actually think the Texans can cover. I see like a 24-21 type of game here. What do you guys think? We'll start with Nick and come around.
I'm going to say that most of the offense is going to come from Carolina. I think that Carolina's offense is just too dynamic for the Houston Texans to be able to handle. So I'm going to say it's going to go to the over, though, because I think that, they do – the Texans' offense does get a little bit of production. Davis Mills really has nothing to lose, so might as well sling it while he's out there. And I think that the Panthers are going to cover the 8 and win the game. So that's how I feel.
All right. Steve?
Yeah, I was seeing this number at 7.5 all day, and I really like that. I just don't have much confidence in this Texans team. So I would take the points with the Panthers, and then I like the over here. I just think that you'll see the Panthers put them away early and then kind of control the game on the ground. But then I think you do just see some late, sloppy, garbage time touchdown from the Texans that'll just hit the over for you.
All right. I like it. Cody?
Yeah, give me the Panthers -8, but I just don't have any faith in this Texans offense. I think this game ends up 27-10, 24-7, something around that area. And that's good enough for the under. So that's what I'm taking.
What I've come to expect so far through these first couple of weeks, prepare for the unexpected. In prime time, I think this Detroit and Green Bay game, that was the only game so far where the favorite has actually covered in prime time so far.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like the Houston Texans short week, usually you lend the favor of the short week to the home team. Carolina coming in, like I think there's a lot of pieces to trust here in fantasy, but you're still being led by a quarterback that really isn't polished or experienced. Who did the Panthers take on? They took on the Jets. They barely beat them, and then they beat the dog piss out of the Saints. I don't know where that came from. So that was pretty surprising. So we've kind of gotten some Jekyll and Hyde from them already. Giving a close game like 5 points to the Jets, and then demolishing the Saints. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I'd like to think like, oh yeah, the play calling for the Houston Texans isn't going to be enough. Interceptions, too many risks, too many chances. You have a Carolina, rushing and secondary defense that is top 5 in both aspects here. So I see where you guys are coming from, but when everyone's going one way, I'm going to try to go left. So that's where I'm going to keep it simple. All right, let's move on to our sit or start questions for this evening. First up, Sam Darnold tonight or Teddy Bridgewater versus the Jets? I think I'm leaning towards Teddy still. What do you guys think? We'll start with Cody this time and come around.
Yeah, give me Teddy Bridgewater here. I think that Broncos offense is in line for a big game. Really like Courtland Sutton and Noah Fant this week. So if I'm going to be high on those two guys, it only makes sense that I'm high on Teddy Two Gloves. So give me Teddy Bridgewater in this one.
Yep, I agree. Steve?
Yeah, I'm staying with Teddy. Out of the two, he has played the most mistake-free football. I don't think he has a turnover in the first 2 weeks, whereas Darnold has had, I think he had a fumble the first week and then an interception the next. So I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Darnold, I think he's got a way higher ceiling. But I kind of like the consistency I'm getting with Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I hear you. And Nick?
I'm taking Teddy Bridgewater over Jameis Winston this week on my fantasy team. Okay. I just think that the Jets, even though they are kind of like they have a head coach, Robert Saleh, that's the defensive coach, even though that's there, they're still going to be top 3 pick in the NFL draft. So I think that Teddy Bridgewater would be able to take advantage of that kind of defense for sure.
Yeah, I like it. And yeah, that's a really easy choice for me. Bridgewater over Winston. Winston's got New England. He's got the Patriots, so that's a good pick.
Yeah, I'm not playing against Bill this week. I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing it.
Good call. And yeah, Steve, I agree with you. Sam Darnold does have the opportunity for a really high ceiling tonight. It's just that, like I said before, like he's not necessarily like polished or someone that we can consider with like a high trust value or a lot of experience, right? So I like Teddy Bridgewater as well. That offense looks really solid in Denver. Any love for like Davis Mills tonight? We'll say Davis Mills versus Justin Fields.
Justin Fields all day.
Yeah, Fields by a mile.
Number 1 on his jersey, number 1 on my heart. Give me Fields. Let's go. All right. Looking at running backs tonight, what do you think about Mark Ingram tonight or James Conner versus Jacksonville? James Conner not really getting it going yet.
I'm going to take Mark Ingram, but that's that's really low tier.
Okay.
I'm going Mark Ingram also. He's had a solid season so far for the Texans and that committee they got going. And then James Conner, I mean, last week he just got completely scripted out. Chase Edmonds was getting all the work. First week, I mean, he had a decent amount of carries, 16 carries and like 50-something yards, but it's just the workload isn't there for him. So I got to go Mark Ingram.
All right, fair enough. Cody?
Yeah, I think the winner of this one is going to be whoever gets luckier to fall into the end zone, and I think Mark Ingram has a better shot than James Conner, so that's going to be what I'm taking.
I'm going James Conner. I'm saying Mark Ingram isn't getting the same game script he's had the first couple weeks. Short week, older running back. I think we're seeing more Phillip Lindsay and David Johnson and probably even more Rex Burkhead tonight. We kind of saw that last week with J.D. McKissick getting a ton of love and more volume and touches than Antonio Gibson on a short week. I don't know. I don't get it, but I'm going to go James Conner. I'm going to say he does fall into the end zone, and while Arizona gets up with some garbage time, he gets a handful of extra touches. I'll take Conner. All right. How about Phillip Lindsay tonight or Carlos Hyde versus AZ? I'll go with Lindsay on that one.
I'm gonna go Lindsay on that one too. I think he's gonna get a little bit more of a workload than Mark Ingram. I think that Mark Ingram just got lucky with like a touchdown last week. He definitely gave me a big mirage. I started him and lost out, but whatever. I'm gonna go Phillip Lindsay on that one.
All right.
So we got Lindsay versus Carlos Hyde, right?
Yeah,
I gotta go with Lindsay. Carlos Hyde had 2 carries last week, so he's got to make the most of those 2 carries. That game should be no different. So I gotta ride with Lindsay.
Clean sweep, Cody?
Yeah. I mean, I just think that Arizona's going to get up quick. That really scripts Carlos Hyde out of the game.
Fair enough. All right, next up, David Johnson tonight or Tevin Coleman at Denver. Tevin Coleman hasn't gotten anything going as of yet either.
Who was the first one? I'm sorry. Tevin Coleman then.
David Johnson tonight or Tevin Coleman at Denver.
I don't know. Pass. I don't know that one. I really don't. I just have no clue.
No one. Empty slot.
Start no one. C. Pass.
They're both fumbling the ball. What do you think, Steve?
I tried with Tevin Coleman all this year. You could get him so late in drafts, and I was like, all right, well, he's the quote unquote the starter. So let's throw a dart at it. He might be the starter, but he doesn't have the ability. So David Johnson, I mean, he is a little touchdown dependent, but he'll get some catches out of the backfield as well as some touches. So I gotta go David Johnson there.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's gonna have a big workload tonight. What do you think, Cody?
Yeah, I think David Johnson gets some work, especially if the Panthers get up early, right? And then Tevin Coleman had 5 carries last week. I'm just not a big believer in that. Denver defense is solid. So give me David Johnson.
All right, fair enough. Looking at wide receivers, because you're starting CMC, there's really no question. He's the number 1 ranked running back every single week. You're starting CMC. Don't get silly. DJ Moore tonight or Deebo Samuel with Green Bay. I'm actually leaning towards Deebo. I think he's going to have a big game. Probably gets like 4 or 5 carries. They have like no running backs.
I respectfully disagree. I'm going to take DJ Moore. He has some great chemistry with Sam Darnold, and I'm excited to see. It's really great to see the chemistry that Darnold and Roby Anderson had in New York, but DJ Moore is also getting into that chemistry as well, and I think that he's going to get a good amount of targets. Probably around 8 to 9, and he's going to do some damage with that.
All right, fair enough.
I got to go Deebo too. The Packers defense has been underwhelming. You saw Quintez Cephas just going off on them last Monday. So I think Deebo Samuel, better ability, can do the same thing. And he'll probably add in let's say 30 rushing yards on an end around. So I'm going to go Deebo.
Yeah, I'm going to go Deebo as well. That Green Bay offense puts up a lot of points, and the 49ers are going to have to match that if they want to win that game on Sunday night. So give me Deebo Samuel. Man, has he been excellent this year.
Leads the league in receiving, right?
Yep. DJ Moore, not that far behind, though. I think he's only he's within 10 yards. It's really not that far off. But, I think on Fantasy Pros, both of these guys are still in the 10 to 15 tier for this week. So, yeah, a really good one there. Roby Anderson versus Chase Claypool. Roby Anderson tonight or Chase Claypool with Cincinnati? We'll start with Cody and come around on this one.
I'm not a fan of a lot of Steelers players this week. I just think that that game has underwritten all over it. That being said, I almost like Terrace Marshall to Robbie Anderson this week, so I'm going to have to go with Chase Claypool.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to go. I was honestly fighting with this in many leagues about Robbie Anderson, so I'm going to choose him because that's what I want. I think Claypool will have a tough time with Ben not being able to kind of throw the ball, or we don't know what that's going to be. So a lot of that deep shots that he gets might not normally be there, and it might be just like a real short feed Juju Deontay game. So I think he's out of it. So I'm going to go Robbie Anderson.
Okay. Deontay Johnson, I think, was held out of practice today. Would that change your answer at all? Okay.
He's missed the last 2 practices.
So. Excuse me. Last 2 practices. Excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah, so
I just think that means bigger workload for Juju than still with Ben hurt.
Okay. Fair enough. And Nick, what do you think?
I'm a Robbie Anderson kind of guy. I like how he always gets those deep targets, and he's going to get a good amount. Like him and DJ Moore are at least going to get 8-9 targets a game. Like, there's no doubt about it. So I'm always willing to take a chance on Robbie Anderson, and the chemistry that him and Darnold have shown, I'm just all about it.
Right. Yeah, I'm going Roby as well. The matchup tonight, like I mentioned, those corners, Vernon Hargraves, Desmond King, those guys allow like 60% plus completion ratings, to opposing quarterbacks. So they're not shut down corners by any means. I'm rolling with Roby tonight. Next up, we got Terrace Marshall versus Marquez Callaway. Callaway going up against the Patriots, number 1 guy there, but Terrace Marshall, a little bit of a juicier matchup. What do you guys think?
Give me Terrace Marshall. I think that he's gonna get 4 to 5 targets, but with having DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson on the outside takes a lot of pressure off of him. So maybe the Texans are going to be caught sleeping. So I think that he's going to have a couple opportunities to make something happen.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel kind of bad for the people who really went up and drafted Marquez Callaway a little bit higher in the draft than they would have because they thought he was going to be this number 1. He's only seeing about 2 targets a week, and that just isn't enough workload for him to, produce enough. So I got to go with Marshall. He's been seeing like 3 to 5 targets the past 2 weeks. So, I think his opportunity is just a lot bigger, and he doesn't draw a matchup against the Patriots.
Very true. Cody?
Yeah, the matchup with J.C. Jackson, I mean, the guy is an absolute ball hawk. So Marquez Callaway is kind of in a tough spot this week. Terrace Marshall's plus 275 to score a touchdown tonight. I don't hate those odds. Give me Terrace Marshall over Callaway, at least this week.
Yeah, I think the matchup is just too juicy for Marshall. And when you just look at it on paper, like New England just taking away the quarterbacks in each matchup. So let's clear Marshall all the way through here. Next up, we got Brandon Cooks tonight or Sterling Shepard with Atlanta. Sterling Shepard really getting it done for the Giants. I actually kind of like Sterling Shepard over Cooks just because with Kenny Golladay there, as long as he's healthy, you're getting less aggressive coverage on Shepard and Darius Slayton. So I'm going to go with Shepard on this one.
I'll take Shepard because Slayton's been messing up. Like, he had that one good, 4 weeks 2 years ago. Everybody still is really high on him, but he dropped an open pass from Daniel Jones, and that kind of. But still, still wasn't impressed by that. So I'm going to take Shepard because he's going to start getting a little bit more targets that we're supposed to go to Slayton.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Shepard. It just seems like he has the chemistry with Daniel Jones. He's just been getting fed the ball over and over and over. So, yeah, and then, Atlanta hasn't been able to keep anyone out of the end zone, so Sterling Shepard should have a good chance to find the end zone this week. Brandon Cooks, I like his workload that he's going to have, but I just think Shepard's going to be able to outdo him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cody?
Yeah, that Panthers defense looks really good through 2 weeks, and Atlanta couldn't stop a nosebleed. So give me Sterling Shepard in this one.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Cooks tonight still has, I know we all like Cooks tonight, his props, his numbers, think he'll have a good game, but he still got, some tough work out of him. He got, rookie J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson. They got A.J. Bouye coming back, I believe, tonight. If that's your third, DB, you're doing something right. So still has a tough road ahead of him this evening. Shepard's got a much juicier matchup. All right. How about tight ends? Dan Arnold versus Cole Kmet. Give me Cole. Finds the end zone.
I'll take Cole Kmet too. I think that him and Fields are going to have a great chemistry for time to come. Yeah, that's how I feel.
I like it.
I'm always high on rookie quarterbacks and their tight ends because I just always feel like it's their safety blanket, check down, but big body against a linebacker or something. So I got to ride with Cole Kmet here, and he's been able to evolve as a player this year and see him kind of continue to grow.
Couldn't agree more. What do you think, Cody?
Yeah, I'm going to go with former Notre Dame superstar Cole Kmet. I mean, I can't rock the Notre Dame gear and not go with my Notre Dame guy. So give me Cole Kmet in this one.
I can't wear any more of my Notre Dame stuff because of this green screen behind me. Also, the Mighty Ducks jersey. Like, I don't know when I'm going to wear it this year. Like, I don't know where to
That's tough.
wear it.
That's probably a sick jersey too.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. But yeah, no more green. I also have a nice little N64 hoodie. Can't wear that. It's got a little green in it. Drives me nuts. Blue screen. Moving on. All right, let's look at some player props for this evening. First off, we're looking at the over-unders for the quarterbacks. Davis Mills, 211.5 over-under, and Sam Darnold, 270.5. Tall number for the kid. What do you guys think?
I'm going to take the over on Darnold and the over on Mills as well. I think he's going to get like 245, 250, but just because he's going to be slinging the ball and they're going to be behind.
Yeah, I like to see it. I like Mills to hit like, I don't know, maybe like 220. Is it what was the number you said?
211 for Mills, 211 and a half, and Darnold is 270.
Yeah, I like the over there on both of them. I think Mills is just going to be playing catch up so much that he's going to have to throw that. They'll be playing from behind, so give me both overs.
Okay. Cody?
Yeah, I'm actually going to take both unders. I'm just not a believer in Mills. I do think this game goes under, and I don't think Sam Darnold needs to put up 270 yards for them to win tonight. I think he can do 225, 250, 2 touchdowns, and the Panthers will be sitting pretty.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on Darnold. I'm going to take the under on him, but I am going to go with the over on Mills because I do still believe they're going to be playing from behind. There will be opportunity, and as we saw in his first appearance last week, he's not afraid to throw the ball down the field. So that's what they're going to be. That's what they're going to be doing while playing from behind. Next up, we've got passing touchdowns. Both quarterbacks are at 1.5. Mills hitting the over is at plus money. Darnold is now at minus 185.
I'm going to say 1 touchdown for Davis Mills. I'm going to say 1 touchdown for Sam Darnold too, because they're going to not have to like sling the ball and they can just kind of focus on McCaffrey and the backs behind him, Chuba Hubbard, and just go from there.
Okay.
I saw the over at Darnold sitting at like minus 150 earlier in the day, and I really, really like that. I like him to throw for at least 2. I got to go the under on Davis Mills. So I think if they get in the red zone, they're just going to be trying to pound the ball to try and get them points.
Yep, I agree. Especially, I mean, when you have that many running backs, they're going to be fresh. Why wouldn't right? Cody?
Yeah, I'm going to take over on Darnold. I think he gets that done. I'm going to take the under with Davis Mills. I think if he gets 1, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think 2 is too tall of an order.
Okay, yeah, might even get the rushing one, even that to spoil you. All right, let's see. Next, we got passing completions, 19.5 for Mills, 22.5 for Darnold. Give me the over for both.
I'll take the over for both too.
For the sake of argument, I'm going to go opposite. I think Mills won't complete that many, and I think Darnold. Darnold will go over. I gotta agree with that, but Mills is gonna go under.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. This is tough. I'm gonna take Mills under, and I like Darnold over, but that Vegas did a hell of a job with that prop.
Right. All right, let's move on to rushing yards. We're going to avoid CMC and Mark Ingram. We've already gone over those guys. David Johnson, wow, over under 18.5. That seems really low.
I'm going to say under.
Really? Just catches everything? Man.
I just don't believe in him anymore. I don't believe in him anymore. And I don't know what happened. Like, when he broke his arm, it was kind of like, oh, okay, it's not his knee, it's not his ankle, right. He's still able to run, and then it just like was the worst injury for him, and just he fell off. And I just don't believe that he's going to get the workload to even try that.
Man, that's tough. I got to take the over. What do you guys think?
I'm going to go over just because I do like David Johnson. I think he's probably like with age and everything taken into factor, I think he is the best back out of the three that they got, with Lindsey obviously being a little too small to be your every down back. It will be tough because I think Johnson's production is going to come through the passing game, but I mean, I like him to get, 5 carries. He can get it done.
Yeah. What do you think, Cody?
He's gotten 6 and 3 carries the first 2 weeks. I'm going to take the over just because it hit last week against Cleveland. But man, that's an ugly number.
It's way too low in my opinion. Next one up is Phillip Lindsay. He's at 20.5. And again, I just feel like the volume that he should hit that number. Both of those guys.
Lindsay, I agree. We'll go over.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over on. Actually, no, I'm gonna go under on Lindsay. I think
All right.
I'm gonna go under on Lindsay.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm going to go under as well. I just don't. There can't be that many yards amongst these running backs for me to take over on all 3 of them. So,
right,
give me the under.
Well, like I said earlier, I'm not in on Mark Ingram. You guys sound like you're a little bit higher on him. I think that he gets a little bit more rest on the short week because he's, just the elder statesman of the group. And man, the disrespect to Rex Burkhead not being on this list, I don't even know what to say. This is bullshit.
Hey, former Cincinnati Bengal Rex Burkhead. I mean, come on now.
He's going to be the leading rusher tonight.
I mean,
They're taking
probably
you kind of slighted him there yourself. You were like, 3 running backs. And I'm like, hey, what about Rex Burkhead? I mean, I picked up Rex Burkhead last year. He got me like 38 points in one game or something like that. It was crazy. I mean, he didn't maintain that, but still he did it. Last one up, 7.5 rushing yards for Sam Douglas Darnold. Don't know if that's his middle name or not, but
should be
7.5.
Low number. I'll take the over. Sam Darnold, I mean, he's shown he's got wheels. Was it a Thursday night game when he took off for that like really incredible highlight reel? Like,
yeah, I think that was.
Touchdown? Why can't we have magic? Lightning can strike twice. 8.5, 7.5 yards. I'll take the over.
I like it. It's a low number. It's a low inviting number, and it's paying even money both ways. So they're not decided either.
I'll take the over. That's a scramble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think you got to go over there, but I always get nervous. If I think they're going to win the game, he's got Niels at the end of the game. You got to watch out.
There you go.
Think about that. That'll get you.
So the running back situation is so bad in Houston, they won't even give carry props to their running back. So the only player that has a carry prop tonight is 19.5 with Christian McCaffrey at 19.5. I'm taking the under.
Under too.
It's paying plus money.
The under's playing plus money?
Mm-hmm. Plus 100.
Yeah, I'm going to go over on that actually then.
Trying to trick my ass.
Yeah, see, I'm going to go under. I just don't think they need to feed him the ball that many times. I mean, he could get, 8 catches, 15 carries, have a great night, and let Chuba Hubbard, shoulder the workload a little bit on a short week. So I'll take the under on that.
John Reed's asking where Emron's at. He's not working Uber. We confirmed he wasn't working Uber. He was working Uber late. He wasn't working Uber. We've confirmed. So he's not doing that, but he's not here. I don't know. Probably getting ready to watch this amazing football game headlined by the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. Let's look at some reception props. Brandon Cooks, 5.5. Over under.
Over.
I'm taking the over.
I think he's gonna have to be called on a lot, so I gotta take the over.
Okay. Cody.
Yeah, when you're gonna be in as many third and longs as the Texans are, you got to go with your best target. I'm gonna take you over there.
Okay. Steve, you are on the outs on Chris Conley over 2.5. Nick, Cody, 2.5. Chris Conley.
I'll take the over on that.
I'll take the under.
Just to piss off Steve. I think just to piss off Steve, Chris Conley's going to hit it.
All right, then let's do a charity bet on this one.
Yeah, I got him.
You got me with that comment there.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. All right, so I'm taking the over. Steve's got the under on Chris Conley. Taking a note for it.
Such an obscure player to have a prop on there, but
this is a Thursday night prop bet if I've ever seen one. This is a Thursday night prop bet.
They're going to give him 3 catches right out of the gate, Steve. You'll see.
They don't even give him 3 targets a game. We're good.
I know. Prepare to expect the unexpected. All right, so I got that. Cody, what before we interrupted you there, you were about to say what the over-under was going to be.
For the Conley catches? I'm taking
Conley,
under.
yeah.
I'm taking
All right, taking the
under, yeah.
Yep.
Bad night for me, it looks like. All right, CMC, over-under 5.5. I'm going with the over.
5.5 receptions?
5.5 receptions.
Yeah, I'm going to go the over.
I think he had like 5 last week. So that kind of scares me right there. You have the hook on there. So I guess I'll go under.
All right. Going with the under, going maybe the 5 even. Paying plus money, by the way. What do you think, Cody?
I'll take the over.
All
6
right.
seems reasonable.
6 seems pretty reasonable. I agree. DJ Moore, 5.5 as well. All the last 3, all 5.5. Besides Conley.
Plus money to the over on that one.
For DJ Moore, the under is plus money.
I'm gonna go over.
Okay. Full disclosure, I have a parlay, Brandon Cooks and DJ Moore, both over 5.5 tonight.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with you on that one. I think I'm going to go over too. 5.5 just seems really low, especially when this is a defense you could take shots on. So give me the over there.
Okay. Nick?
Give me the over.
All right, taking the over as well. Let's get to some long shots here. Man, David Johnson, over 2.5 catches, is paying plus money. I'm all over that. Give it to me.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, I'd bet it at 3.5, to be honest with you. That seems
nice.
That seems way too low.
Yeah, that is way too low. What do you think, Nick? You agree?
Over. Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, last 2. Roby Anderson and Terrace Marshall. We'll keep these ones quick. 3.5 for Anderson, 2.5 for Marshall. I go over for both.
Over for both.
I'm in agreement.
I'm going to say over for Marshall, under for Anderson.
Ooh, dang. Not the night to start Anderson. All right, let's jump into some of our game props. We got about 8 minutes until we kick off here, and then we'll jump into love, hate, and our final sitter starts for the week. If you haven't already, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/takeittothehizzy. First game prop, as it is every week, any team to score 40 points. Yes is paying plus 500. What do we got?
No.
Yeah, I'm saying no too.
Yeah, I think that's a tall task.
The Panthers won't need to win this game. So
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. No, minus 909. Probably should have gave that one. Field goals for Carolina. Over, under 1.5. The over is paying minus 182. Under is paying plus money. Field goal prop.
Under.
I got to go over. Just you got the Texans who aren't that great. I feel like teams like that usually tend to kick a lot of field goals.
Okay. Cody?
yeah, I'm going to go over. I don't know. The Texans are competent enough that they can get some stops and make Carolina at least resort to field goals on a handful of drives. So I'll take over 1.5.
Okay. Handful. I'm going to go with the under as well. 24-21 game. Give me the Carolina win and the Houston cover, like I said before. Carolina over under 2.5 touchdowns. Love the over. It's paying minus 200.
Yes. 2.5.
What was that? What was that one?
2.5 total touchdowns, Carolina.
Oh, I like the over.
What do you think, Cody?
Yeah, I'm going to take the over as well.
Okay.
I think Sam Darnold gets 2. CMC gets 1. That seems right.
So in the game from both teams, defensive or special teams touchdown scored. Yes is paying plus 197. I really like that.
Yes.
Yeah, with a game between Darnold and Mills, I mean, you could easily see it.
Yeah, that would be a way for like just a ridiculous backdoor covers, like a defensive touchdown by the Texans. So it just seems fitting. Yeah, I'll take that there.
Hey, that's where my money's at. They gave me the extra half point. I might as well take it. I think the most points I was willing to give Carolina was the 6.5. These books, they know what they're doing, man. All right. First score of the game is a touchdown. Yes or no? Yes is paying minus 156.
No. I don't believe in these teams to score a touchdown, but I said that last week and it happened. So
I'm going to go no as well. I think you just see some team come out, maybe even the Texans drive down the field a bit, stall up, kick a field goal to start the game.
Okay.
And you guys root against fun. Give me a yes. Touchdown. Let's go.
I'm saying yes for either team. I mean, Houston, they've come out in their first couple of weeks with very, very scripted drives, like really easy, quick hitting passes, typically to those running backs coming out of the backfield. So yeah, I'm going to go with yes. Houston total field goals over under 1.5. I'm going to say under.
Over. I don't think they're going to be able to get a touchdown or as many touchdowns as they should. I think they're going to be stuck in field goal range and have to settle for 3 a lot.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well. Just sticking to my tune.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under here. You don't win games with field goals, and I think when the Texans get down, they're going to be like, all right, we need to put the ball in the end zone.
Absolutely. Houston total touchdowns over 1.5. I'm going the over there as well. Minus 152 to the over. Under is paying plus money.
I'm going to say under because I think they're going to settle for field goal.
Okay, there you go.
I still think they can hit the over while settling for field goals too. So I am going to go over.
All right. Cody?
Yeah, I have an absolutely absurd bet with the podcast that I do on Wednesday nights where I said that the Texans would score 7 or fewer points, and I bet shotgunning a bottle of barbecue sauce on that. So in order to be on brand, I'm going to take the under 1.5 touchdowns. Let's go.
I appreciate that. I appreciate always being on brand, and I appreciate the continuing shotgun of condiments and other household things you put into other food.
Look, when you don't have many skills, you got to take advantage of the ones you have, for context.
It's like Super Troopers with the syrup. It's all about pursing the lips. You got to remember that.
You're not wrong. Nick on this very show shaved my head. My hair grows very quickly. Like it's just a known fact. Like you see me wearing like headbands and bandanas on the show. It's because the hair just gets too long, and I'm a busy guy. I don't got time for haircuts and shit. So I agree with you. You got to go with what you know. The shotgun and the chili though, man. Like when I watched that hurt. Like I'm like watching it was like like I was like it was gagging in the back of my mouth. That was so brutal. But
yeah, I had to preload that with Tums. Like we had to do Tums and then that and then Pepto-Bismol. It was a full. It was a full event.
That's great. You just start snorting Tums. I dig it.
Skyline chili is like what spinach is to Popeye. That is Skyline chili to me. Gotta
love it. I love it. All right, back to some props. Team to score first, Houston or Carolina? Sounds like Cody's going with Carolina.
Yep.
I'll take Carolina.
Yeah, I got to stay with them. They have the best ability to.
Love it. Team to score last, Houston or Carolina?
I'm going to say the Texans because it's going to be just trying to get some respect.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or there's Cody's backdoor cover, and Texans get lucky there at the end. So I'm gonna go Texans there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Panthers, but that the last 2-minute Texans touchdown that ruins my night. It's feasible, but I got to go Panthers here.
All right, right on. Let's jump into our love-hate here. The game is going to be starting here in just about a minute or so. We start with Nick. Nick, one or two guys that you love for this week.
Muted myself again, like always. One guy that I really like, I like Teddy Bridgewater against the New York Jets. I was hoping Winston was going to continue his streak, but he really didn't. He kind of regressed back to the mean. So I'm really liking Teddy Bridgewater. And then, I'm liking Tony Pollard as well. Tony Pollard is beastin', man. And I kind of heard about a thought that really changed how I saw this because I was just having him on my bench because I was like, I really don't know if Zeke's going to get a lot of stuff. But Tony Pollard is being used to keep Zeke longer and have him not take as much damage because it is 17 games and they are using the scat back system to really extend his life on shelf life, basically. So I'm going to take Tony Pollard as someone that I really like. They're going up against Philadelphia. I really don't like Philly, so I'm always against Philly. So those are my two guys.
Cool. Cody, you and Laquan were talking about that earlier. Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott. I was listening to that a little bit. Any advice for people out there that may own both of them, or maybe need to move one of them? Are you like really buying into Tony Pollard having a consistent role going forward?
I think I am, right? In an offense that is going to put up a ton of points this season. He's one of their best weapons. And outside of their two, top end receivers, right? Tony Pollard might be the most explosive player left on that offense. So I like Tony Pollard, especially this week against Philly. Like they're going to get creative because that rivalry is one of the better ones in the NFL. So I would absolutely start Tony Pollard this week.
All right, fair enough. I like it. Anything to add there, Steve?
No, I mean, he's looked great running. They really hit on everything. I think it just benefits the team when you got just a healthy, solid backfield. So they'll just continue to interchange them.
Right. Yeah, for people that own Tony Pollard out there, I would actually be interested in shopping him at this point, because where you probably drafted him, he's probably at best your third running back on your roster. And I'm sure you still have some other pieces there as well. So if somebody got hurt, if you had a quarterback go down, whatever it is, this might be a piece that you could leverage on your roster to go out and get something else while there's still a lot of hype around him. I'm not sure if he busts off for that type of production every week, but I think it's enough to pique some people's interest, especially maybe a Zeke owner perhaps, or someone else that lost a running back. So definitely something to explore. Steve, who's on your love list for this week? One or two guys?
Yeah, so I hit on my two loves. It's Chase Edmonds versus Jacksonville this week. Chase Edmonds just has been, to me, that guy for the Cardinals, just because of his versatility in the passing game and on the ground. He just offers a lot more than James Conner. So I'm sticking with him this week. I loved him last week, and he's just been very, very consistent. Sterling Shepard, for those chemistry that I touched on earlier. He's got the best chemistry with Daniel Jones of any of their receivers, and Atlanta just hasn't been able to stop anyone. So I think that'll probably be a high-scoring game just because both teams aren't that great. And then a guy I hate this week, Tyler Higbee. He's going up against the Buccaneers. I really haven't liked any tight end this year against the Buccaneers just because of those linebackers they have and the speed that they have. I think Stafford's been doing a good job of distributing the ball to Woods and obviously to Cooper Kupp. That those two will be seeing the biggest bump in their production this week.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely with you there with Edmonds and Shepard. Like I mentioned earlier, really like Shepard in that system, being that number 2 guy rather than the number 1 in Kenny Galladay. You get a little bit less aggressive coverage, and obviously he's taking advantage of it. Same thing with Chase Edmonds. It just seems like the game flow is constantly pushing for more scoring, and that's going to keep Edmonds on the field longer. And Higbee, I'm sad I got to bench him this week as well, so I agree with you there. Cody, who are your players that you love this week?
Yeah, it's crazy that you have to come out and say that I love a top 5 quarterback for fantasy this week, but Daniel Jones, who is a top 5 quarterback, at least for as far as fantasy is concerned,
right? For now.
He's put up great numbers against two very good defenses in Denver and Washington, and Atlanta, as beautiful of language as I would use to describe that defense, good is not amongst those words. So give me Daniel Jones against Atlanta. I think he could put up a good handful of points. And then I don't know if it's the rest of the season or I'm just out on CEH, but particularly against this Chargers defense, they do a pretty good job of stuff in the run, at least on that edge and the read option type stuff. The Bosa does an incredible job on those types of plays. So I'm going to say CEH is my sit or hate this week.
Okay, sounds good. I can agree with that. He was actually on my radar for sit this week as well. Saw the first completion for the Panthers, got a nice clean ball to DJ Moore, and then Sam Darnold threw one into double coverage to Dan Arnold down the middle. So they're bringing up 3rd and 3 here on their first drive. Yeah, absolutely agree with the sitting Clyde. Like I said, I was really close on that one as well. My love for this week, I have can't scroll up. I have Leonard Fournette, who I think will catch a lot of passes against the Rams. Rojo really isn't that scat back, and I feel like the Rams are really going to plug all those holes up the middle. There's going to be little opportunity to run the ball. I think you're going to see more Leonard Fournette and Giovanni Bernard this coming week. Leonard Fournette, I think, has about 9 or 10 catches through the first couple of games. Rojo's got, I think, like a target. So some of them absolutely in on this week, Leonard Fournette. And then also Devontae Smith in that matchup on Monday night, Eagles and Dallas. Devontae Smith has looked really good so far. Him and Rieger, I think, are both really good starts this week going up against Dallas. Trayvon Diggs will take away some of the field at some point for one of them, but they've been targeting both of those guys, both downfield quite a bit. So I like the upside for both Devontae Smith and Jalen Rieger. I hate Baker Mayfield. Keeping it simple. Bears defense really stiff. Got no receivers, no OBJ, no Jarvis Landry. Going to be leaning on the running backs heavily. And then Mike Evans, similar situation with Rojo, just not this game. He's going to be going up against Jalen Ramsey. Probably going to have less than 4 or 5 targets, and the opportunity is just not going to be as high as it is in other weeks. Mike Evans just has those types of weeks where he might get 1 target for 1 catch and a touchdown. This might be that week, but with that type of opportunity, I am going to fade him. I like some Scotty Miller. I like some Tyler Johnson. Looks like AB is not going to be available. He's dinged up on the COVID list, it would appear. Got John Reed in the chat saying, how concerned are we about George Kittle going forward? Do you guys know if he's missing practice?
No, I think he's talking more about like his lack of production.
I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with Kittle at all.
If anything, I would want to go out and buy him, buy low on him for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'll trade Tony Pollard for George Kittle if anybody's interested,
If anybody's interested.
Yeah,
right, let's move into – oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying you can't sell low on a guy like that. Not on especially at the premium that tight end position runs. So, yeah
absolutely.
Hold on to
absolutely. Top 5 play every week. I don't care what anybody says. All right, first flex question we have up. Last set of flex questions before we head out, and then we'll jump into this game here. Texans, they're moving the ball 2nd and 4, first drive. All right, first one up, we've got KJ Osborne versus Kyle Pitts versus JD McKissick. We'll start with Cody. Who do you like in this one? PPR, of course.
I'm going to take the best player on this list, and it's Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
I understand that he hasn't been great to start the season, which his expectations were incredibly high. But he's still better than the other 2 players on this list, so give me Kyle Pitts.
Okay. Steve?
I'm in agreement. I think Kyle Pitts might be his first really big game. Just gets the fans of Atlanta, everyone like that, excited. KJ Osborne was close just because every time he's been targeted, he has brought in the catch, and he's playing against the Seahawks secondary. But I got to go best player like Cody and get Kyle Pitts.
Okay. Nick, what do you think?
Give me KJ Osborne. I think he's going to have more production because he is like the 3rd wide receiver. But, Dalvin Cook hasn't really been popping off, and even with Thielen and Jefferson on the outside with them, he's still making noise on the slot or that 3rd receiver spot. So I'm going to take KJ Osborne.
Yeah, I'm going to go Osborne as well. Kyle Pitts, definitely the most talented of the 3. I just don't trust Matt Ryan. It's hard to say I trust Kirk Cousins in any reality whatsoever, especially on primetime. But this game's not on primetime, and there really hasn't been another target to emerge, with the exit of Irv Smith. So I like the volume that he's getting. The snap share went down actually from week 1 to week 2, but he had better production in week 2. But I still like him as a really strong flex play this week. I'm going KJ Osborne. I expect that game to also be very high scoring. Next one up, we've got Antonio Gibson versus David Montgomery. Gibson gets the Buffalo Bills, and Montgomery gets the Cleveland, I was about to say Cavaliers for some reason, the Browns.
Man, this is tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Montgomery. I think the Bills defense absolutely suffocated the Dolphins last week. But even then, the Bills absolutely suffocated Najee Harris, who is a very talented back. So I think they can stop the run. I think David Montgomery can, in what should be a pretty back and forth game between Cleveland and Chicago. I think David Montgomery can put up some points. So I'm going to lean Monty here.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, I got to go David Montgomery. He's just been the better runner out of the 2 so far this year. Both draw relatively difficult matchups. I have a little bit more faith in David Montgomery versus the Browns, whereas Antonio Gibson with the Bills, not feeling that one as much. I'll just take the better runner this year, so I'm going Montgomery.
Okay. Nick?
I'm going to go Montgomery. The Bills defense has been suffocating, and even though Cleveland's front seven is actually kind of strong. I think that Justin Fields coming in and the different aspects that he brings to the game will take pressure off of Monty and allow him to slip through some holes and break some yardage.
I can't go backing down on Monty now. Yeah, give me Montgomery as well. Gibson, I think he gets more touches than he did in week 2, but at the same time, the Bills defense still really stiff, really tough up front, and I feel like they're going to need to get more vertical, and that may mean more J.D. McKissic. We'll see. Next up, we've got Taylor Heineke versus Taylor Heineke versus Jimmy Garoppolo. Heineke gets the Bills. Garoppolo gets Green Bay. Jimmy Garoppolo 2-0 versus Aaron Rodgers.
Heineke, because Garoppolo, I've said it on the show before, he's the most expensive ball handle offer in the world. How can your fourth running back get 100 yards all the time and you're paying your quarterback over $100 million? It's unbelievable. So I'm going to take Heineke because he's really trying to prove something in the NFL. He came from Old Dominion, which is, not a big school in terms of like football. It's the second level. So, and he's shorter, so he has a lot to prove, he feels like. So I like Tyler Heineke a lot.
Yeah, I like Heineke. I just kind of like I like how he just plays like he has nothing to lose, which he really doesn't. But the Green Bay defense made Jared Goff look like a superstar for one half on Monday night. So I think Jimmy G is going to be able to get it done enough, whereas Heineke is going to struggle against this Bills defense.
Okay. Cody?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jimmy G here. They made Jared Goff look like a superstar. So, let up 5 touchdowns to Jameis Winston. So I'm going to go with Jimmy G in this one.
Yeah, I'm going Jimmy Garoppolo as well. He doesn't come from a top tier school, Nick. EIU. We produce some quarterbacks, some coaches.
Tony Romo.
More coaches than quarterbacks. Sean Payton. He's no big deal. What was it? Which one of the Shanahans? Is it Kyle Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan. Yeah.
No, it's Mike Shanahan.
Mike Shanahan. Sorry, my bad.
There's no way Kyle Shanahan went to Eastern Illinois.
Good.
I don't know. Definitely don't think that, but
wrong Shanahan. But I'm going Jimmy here as well. The matchup is just better. It's Green Bay hasn't been great on defense. They are very scripted on their plays. Nick alluding to the constant handoffs and things like that. Going back to that NFC Championship where Jimmy Garoppolo literally didn't pass more than like 10 or 12 times, right, or whatever. He didn't throw the ball more than that. So I hear where you're coming from, Nick. But I'm still going Jimmy. I think the matchup's just a lot better. Taylor Heineke's got a hard ball. Like he throws a mean fastball. Doesn't really have a lot of touch on it. I think he's going to use a lot of his legs, but I think he throws the ball over or turns the ball over a few times this week. Next up, we've got Marquise Brown versus Detroit, T. Higgins versus Pitt, or Marvin Jones versus Arizona. Pick one.
Marquise Brown. I think he'll be able to break something against that defense.
Okay. Yeah, very good matchup.
Yeah, it's tough for me. It's between Brown and Jones. I'm going to give Jones just because some of the volume he's getting, whereas Brown is getting that high volume. And sometimes it's some underneath routes. I like T. Higgins the most probably out of these 3, but not this week.
Okay. Cody?
Yeah, I think season-long T. Higgins is the best player on this list, but banged up, missed some practice time this week going against Pittsburgh. It's a tough matchup. So I'm going to go with Hollywood Brown. That over is 49.5 for the Ravens-Detroit game. I think that it gets shattered. So give me Hollywood Brown in this one.
Yeah, I'll go Brown there as well. Marvin Jones would be a nice option, but I just don't trust that Jacksonville offense. And we've seen just really a ton of volatility in like targets versus catches with, not Jones, but with Chenal and Shark. So I'm not sure how they're going to divvy up the touches this week. Like T. Higgins there as well. But again, they have a lot of weapons. Higgins, Boyd, Chase, Mixon, etc. Right. So I'm going Brown there as well. Next up, we have Gerald Everett versus Jared Cook versus Hunter Henry. 3 tight ends, not really getting it done. What do you guys think? I'm kind of leaning towards Gerald Everett despite the poor week 2 production.
I'm going to say Jared Cook.
Okay.
That's a low tier to be talking about, and I just think that Jared Cook maybe has a little bit more opportunity than the rest.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm actually on the same thing with Nick. Jared Cook, I picked him up last week to play him in fantasy just because of the targets he's seeing compared to Gerald Everett, who was touchdown dependent week 1. He saw a total of 2 targets each week so far. Hunter Henry It's just tough in that offense. You also have Jonnu Smith. So I'm just kind of staying away from that. Mac Jones hasn't been necessarily throwing the ball a lot in any of their games. So I got to go Jared Cook because of workloads there. And he has been decent.
Yeah, I agree. Volume is king here, and I think Jared Cook is going to see the most targets out of this group. So that's who I'm siding with.
I'm going with the big play, touchdown dependent Gerald Everett. They had what is it? Is it Donald Parham? Is it Donald?
Yeah.
The tight end behind him. I feel like they're gonna use him a little bit more as the season goes on. Hunter Henry, yeah, it's a coin flip. Like he had more snaps than Johnny last week, and I think Johnny still outproduced him. So literally double the snaps. Drives me nuts. Next up, we've got Derek Carr versus Kirk Cousins. Both really juicy matchups.
Give me Kirk. I like his wide receivers. He doesn't make many mistakes. He tries to limit them, but he's able to use the weapons around him very well. And I'm kind of riding him in fantasy, to be completely honest.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like Kirk more as well.
I'm going to ride Derek Carr. He's been absolutely just slinging the rock this year. I believe he leads the league in passing yards through 2 weeks. So this Miami team it didn't really come out like it was in the year prior. So I'm gonna go with Derek Carr to write it out.
All right, Cody.
Yeah, I got to go with Derek Carr as well. I mean, he's been great so far this year, and I'm going to keep riding that wave.
Fair enough. I am full disclosure. I'm starting him in my Scott Fishbowl league, but Fitzpatrick is hurt, so really all I got left. But man, Derek Carr going up against that secondary, they're still really good back there. Who am I thinking of? They got Moore, Jones,
Xavier Howard.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that secondary is really strong. Bills, I think, are just a different beast. I think they'll be able to handle Derek Carr with a little bit more practicality. Next up, we got Dame Harris versus Kareem Hunt.
Give me Dame Harris. I think that Kareem Hunt is kind of falling out of favor. He's more of like a change of pace in terms of spelling Nick Chubb. So, I'm not going to go Kareem Hunt.
I don't like the matchup for Hunt this week. And it was either they cut him all – what was it last week? They cut him all the way out of the passing game or all the way out of the running game. So it was just like, you know what? For now, I'm going to stay away from that. So I'm going Dame Harris.
Okay. Cody?
Yeah, talk about a guy who ran hard last week. Damian Harris looked good for New England. So it's good to – I mean, I feel like this is the first time in a couple of years that we've really had a New England running back that we can be like, yeah, I feel confident starting him each and every week. So give me Damian Harris.
Don't love the matchup up against New Orleans, but the Panthers were able to get a fair amount of production on the ground last week, so I'll go Dame Harris as well. I just don't trust the Cleveland offense this week. Just very bare at wide receiver, and there goes Darnold for the rushing touchdown. Bare at wide receiver, and they're just beat up. They're going to have to focus too much on the ground, and maybe Kareem Hunt does catch some passes back there, but Bears defense is still really good.
Hey, was that Darnold rushing touchdown over or under 8.5 yards?
I think it was under that yardage because I was checking the yard line because it looked like 6 or something like that.
But
we'll
he's
get
close
another
already.
We'll get another one. Let's go.
He's close. He's close already. Nick, I love Lovie Smith is challenging you to a beard off. Oh, Lovie Smith's beard.
I've been growing this for a while, John. This is like
not that long. Not that long. Calm down.
Oh yeah, I shaved it off, but
yeah, that's right.
But it takes you gotta shave it off and restart and get it stronger. That's the deal. Sometimes you just gotta kind of reset.
I love it. Way to call it out, John. All right, last one up, and then we're gonna get out of here. Panthers already up 7-0. All right, so pick 2: Tyson Williams versus Detroit, Eli Mitchell versus Green Bay, Tyler Boyd versus Pitt, or Corey Davis versus Denver. Pick any two.
Corey and who was the second person you said?
Eli Mitchell.
I'll take Eli Mitchell. I think he's going to get 100 yards.
100 yards versus the Green Bay Packers.
I do not like Eli Mitchell that much. I think Trey Sermon's going to be back for this one. I think he eats into some of those touches. So I will agree with Corey Davis. He draws a tough matchup, but like his volume. And Tyson Williams should have a huge game.
Okay. Cody,
Yeah,
what do
I'm
you
with
think?
you there. I'm going Tyson and Corey Davis. Elijah Mitchell with that shoulder injury just really kind of concerns me a little bit. I think that the touches in that San Francisco backfield are just going to be all over the place this week. And then I am down on the Bengals offense against Pittsburgh. So give me Tyson Williams and Corey Davis.
I'm going Tyson Williams and Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd bounced back in week 2, had a really good performance up against the Bears. I definitely kind of overreacted. I was thinking that they were going to be using him more for blocking. I would make the same assumption in this game going up against Pittsburgh with that really strong front seven. But I think he's going to have another big game. Give me Tyler Boyd and give me Tyson Williams. And Williams will just have a really active role in that game. Despite not being able to block to save his life, he'll still get enough touches to be fantasy relevant for sure. All right, cool. Well, that's all we got. Cody, we really appreciate you stopping by with us this Thursday evening. We hope to have you back soon. Do you have anything that you want to plug or share, anything that you're working on or have coming up that you're excited about?
I mean, it's football season, so we always have a lot going on. But I have a show on Wednesday and Thursdays. Justin, you mentioned the show before with my man LQ at Real Deal Fantasy. So if you guys ever want to see any of the content that I make, I put everything on Twitter. So at Smash Hit Sports is the handle. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find all of my other stuff, including me retweeting a lot of your guys' stuff because, man, you guys put out some great content. So it is great to be on the show with you guys tonight.
Yep, we appreciate you.
I love it.
Appreciate that. All right, cool. Nick, Steve, you got anything?
Nope. I always appreciate you guys watching. It's always a lot of fun to talk football and hang out with everybody. So, thank you all for watching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's another week of football. Let's get after it.
Yep. Yes, sir. Like John Reed said, thanks, boys. Make some money, or as we say, take it to the Hizzy. All right. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. We appreciate you riding with us. If you didn't already, smash the like button, share the video. We'll see you next time. Take care. Be good. And if you can't be good,